Good afternoon, Ricardo. Welcome to SDA Bocconi School of Management, and thank you very much for stopping by and meeting our Master of Public Administration students. I have a few questions for you. What do you think this kind of competition that we have at the MPA program, Make an MPA Wish, adds value to the learning and also class dynamics?
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. I think that the whole competition adds a great incentive for individuals to think a little bit outside of the box and actually take a lot of the learnings that they've had in class and actually build something with an external effect that will impact people afterwards. So a lot of times when you study, you're very limited in terms of you absorb a lot of information, but you don't set up anything afterwards. And with this Make-A-Wish initiative, they'll actually have to take some of the learnings and try to implement them during the class, which is something that I think is very much needed in all sorts of master's programs and all sorts of educational programs going forward.
Mm-hmm, exactly. The purpose of our MPA program is also to have them exposed to the real world challenges. Yep. So the methodology, the teaching methodology, everything is very practical, very applied. So, and also based on your own personal and professional experience working with Prodigy Finance, what do you think MPAs, our candidates, what kind of difference they make in impact financing?
So I mean, my job at Prodigy Finance is interacting with students in school. So I meet hundreds of students every single year, and from business schools, from engineering schools, from public policy schools. And today, speaking with the different candidates and the different students here, I got to see that the same students that I talk to all the time, from all different nationalities, great background, great experience. So I can only imagine the opportunities that they have, working at large world organizations, large corporations, all over the world. The potential for them is incredible. I mean, not only is it what they're learning at school, but it's also the network, what they're developing. And that network will be with them for their entire life. It reminds me a lot of my own personal background. When I studied at INSEAD 10 years ago, I learned a ton, a lot of financial aspects, a lot of management learnings. But really what has stuck with me over the last 10 years is, the people, the network, the experiences I've learned from, and I've become a better individual. So I can imagine that these students here will take their experience throughout their whole life and be able to go from job to job or really grow in one specific job. And the barriers, I don't think they'll have many barriers. They'll be able to overcome them without any problems.
Right. So speaking about this networking and values they get or they keep after graduating from the program, what do you think are the opportunities out there for our graduates from this MPA program? Yeah.
So the questions that the students were asking me were spot on. I mean, it reminded me a lot of my own classmates 10 years ago, and when I was hearing all my classmates ask the specific questions. So I can definitely imagine them working in large corporations, in small, medium-sized companies like myself, working in government organizations like the World Food Bank, the United Nations. And then working a lot of universities, I see a lot of great talent that are improving how education continues, like by going work, in an administrative place in a university. So I was very, very encouraged to see such a wide variety of people, and it's a great. One of the beauties I think about international master's programs of any sort, especially I think MPAs and APP programs, is the background of people. They're coming from all sorts of different backgrounds, and if you're in a class and everyone has the same background, you're not going to get exposed to as much learning. Well, if you have someone that has worked in the government of Kazakhstan, the other person's working in Korea, it's working in Africa, coming from the government in Nigeria, from a Latin American country, that network, they're going to help each other out, they're going to help get future jobs afterwards. But yeah. Yeah, a completely different perspective from what they're doing. So it's and from what they were telling me, most of them have jobs that they're going to return to, or or maybe do 6 months or a year testing out another job and then going back to what they can. And I think learning from different job opportunities will help anyone in their career as they go back to the old jobs that they used to have.
Great. So thank you so much for inspiring our MPA students, and please come back again to meet our next batch of MPA class.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.